I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's a site with curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read that's going to help you find work more quickly. If you want to get access to all of my information, not curated, you can go to thebiggamehunter.us and go to the blog area. There are thousands of posts I've created over the years that will help you find work more quickly. Now, more and more organizations are switching to initial screening through one-way video interviews, where you're provided questions in advance, and then from there, you're speaking to a camera and answering questions. Years ago, I interviewed someone, I want to say Chip Lumen from HireVue. And HireVue is a firm, and I haven't spoken to him in years, but the idea was that there are analytics that they have created that allow them to recognize people with similar answers to ones that they've hired before, get a sense of their performance, and their predictive analytics that they work with is part of your answer. For you, understand that from an employer perspective, firms are concerned about saving time and candidate fraud. And there's a hysterical video of someone being interviewed by video, and it wasn't them speaking. And it's very clear that they're trying to lip sync to what the answer is, but it's kind of like the old Hercules movies from the 1950s. You know, they were done in Italian and dubbed, and the mouths didn't match up. And that's kind of the way this looks. So in preparation for a one-way video interview, I want to remind you about a couple of things. Number one is they're going to send instructions to you in advance about what their expectations are. Follow the instructions. They are telling you what they're looking for from you, okay? And from there, they're also going to tell you when you have to complete the video interview by. Do it. Coming in 2 days late is ridiculous. Why would you ever put yourself in that situation? You're not going to be considered. They're going to think, well, they're just going to delete any response that you have. There's also employer login information so that you have access to where they want you to respond to. Have that nearby. And of course, prepare in advance. They may send questions in advance. Like I remember HireVue, Chip was telling me that they send the questions out in advance. Rehearse your answers. Seriously. Why would you just wing it at the interview if they're giving you a take-home exam? If they're not sending the questions in advance, you want to have certain reminder notes around the monitor that you're working with in order to encourage you to hit key points in your background that relate to your understanding of the role. So practice becomes important. Whether you have the questions in advance or not, practice how you answer. Also, think in terms of the backdrop. Like, for example, if you've watched any of my videos before, this is what you see almost all the time, except in the early years when I lived in a different place. So make sure what's behind you looks well. And of course, dress well. They're not going to see more than a certain part of you, like maybe from here up on a monitor, but dress the part. Look well professionally. And in presenting yourself, your answers are going to be time limited. So in practicing your answers, make sure that you hit the talking points for the amount of time that they give you. Lastly, look at the camera. If you're looking off this way and answering questions, it looks odd to them. And it doesn't look as though you're confident in your presentation. Recognize that all these variables have an impact on their perception of you. And your answers are only part of what a firm looks for. As I've said many times, competence, self-confidence, character, chemistry, maybe a little bit of charisma, all of which represent someone who inspires confidence that you're the solution to what they need. That's what they're really looking for. They want someone who they could believe in. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, and you're watching on YouTube, let's see now. Let's see if I can do this. Down there's a little icon in the corner. Click on that and subscribe to my channel. You'll get notices whenever I release new content on YouTube. Also want to mention that if you're interested in my coaching you, if you want me to help you throughout your job search, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. By the way, I was just reminded of something, and that's lighting. For those of us with glasses, sometimes it's necessary to tilt our heads forward so as to avoid glare. And I just want to remind you of that because, again, eyes are important. It makes a connection. And right now I'm not looking at the camera, but it does look like I'm looking directly at you and I'm tilting my head forward. So again, with glasses, you want to avoid glare. So again, I'll just point out that if you're interested in my coaching, you connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. And once we're connected, message me that you're interested in coaching. If you have a few questions for me, I don't respond through LinkedIn because I get too many questions there. It takes up too much time. Instead, contact me through an app called Magnify, MAGNIFI. That's an iOS-only app where you can ask questions and we can have the conversation by video, or through PrestoExperts.com, and that's a phone call. Both of which, both Presto Experts and Magnify I charge for. It just saves me time. Hope you have a great day. Take care.